Okay, so now that we know what irrational numbers are and we're able to locate them, we're able to identify them, now let's actually do a little bit more with them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to determine if I give you an irrational number, you should be able to tell me between which two consecutive whole numbers it lies. So there's a lot of vocabulary there. Consecutive means in a row. So like 4, 5, 6, 7, 30, 31 in a row. And whole numbers means just the numbers that I said there. So that would be numbers that well, it's easier just to tell you what they are. So the whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, dot, dot, dot. So it's only positive numbers, no decimals or fractions. It includes 0. Those are the whole numbers. So how do we do this? It's pretty simple, actually. So we go ahead and we put the irrational number into our calculator. So pi is approximately 3.14, as we know. Between which two numbers does that lie? That lies between 3 and 4. Simple as that. No big deal. Nothing insane. All right, and then we have the square root of 18. If you put that into your calculator, you would get 4.24, which falls between 4 and 5. And finally, we have the cubed root of 50. And if you put that in your calculator, you would see that that's approximately 3.68, which means that falls between 3 and 4. So pretty simple, okay? Now, from there, we can go ahead and start plotting these things on a number line. So we have the same three numbers. This is going to be, as we know, 3.14. This is going to be 4.24. And this is going to be 3.68. Okay, so what can we do? The first thing that we need to do is we're going to plot that on a number line, which means we need to add numbers to our number line. As with any number line or graph, you have to go up by the same amount every single time. It doesn't matter that the number is 3.14. That number does not need to appear on your number line. So we could do something like, we could have 2, then we could skip 1, 2, 3, and then put a 3, and then do 1, 2, 3, and then put a 4. That means that this is going to be 2.25, 2.5, 2.75, 3, 3.25, 3.5. And so this would be an acceptable way of creating a number line. Where would 3.14 fall? It would fall somewhere between 3 and 3.25, which means it'd be right about here. And then when you label it with the original. Don't label it with the approximation. Label it with the original. And we could do the same thing for these other ones. So we could do 3, oops, black there, 3, and then 4, and then 5. 4.24 is going to be really, really close to 4.25. And then we're going to label that with square root of 18. And finally, same thing again. We got to do 3.68. Notice that I changed the numbers based on what I need. I could have done 2, 3, 4 again because it would have fallen right about in here. But I kind of want to try and keep that as close to the middle as I can. No big deal. Not a major issue. 3.68 is going to be past 3.5, but not quite to 3.75. So that's going to be right around in here. And again, label it with the original. Okay, but in reality, I'm not going to ask you to just plot one single irrational number. In reality, I'm going to ask you to plot 4 or 5 numbers onto a number line. So the first thing we should do is convert all of these numbers into their approximate decimals. So I'm going to go through in my calculator. Some of them are going to be irrational. Some of them are not going to be irrational. But the first thing that I'm going to do, and I want you to do the same thing, use your calculator and approximate each of these decimals. So like this one's going to be 3.14. And then go ahead and do the rest, and I'm going to do the same. All right, so I went ahead and approximated all these decimals. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure that when I set up my number line, I make sure that I can accommodate all these numbers. So I notice that the smallest number that I see is 3.14. So that means I need to start my number line at least 3 or lower than 3. If I start at 4, I'm not going to be able to get this number. Same thing on the higher end. The highest number I see is 7.5. So what I like to do is I just like to kind of mess around until I want to use as much of the number line as possible. I want to start at least at 3. I want to go at least as high as like 8 so I can accommodate that 7.5. And if I can space that out, I'm going to. So you go ahead and try and set that up. I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, so here's what I ended up with. I ended up starting at 3 and finishing at 8, and then I was able to skip one line, and that fit perfectly on the number line. So this is what I'm looking for. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to put each of these numbers onto the number line. So for example, 3.14 is going to be somewhere around in here, and I'm going to label that as pi. Square root of 26 is 5.09. That's going to be really close to 5. That's square root of 26. 7.5 is right here. That's going to be 15 halves. Cube root of 64 is 4. So I can label that one. And then 6.71 is going to be somewhere around in here. And that's going to be 3 square roots of 5. So there I went ahead and I put all of those onto the number line. I have the two things that I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for making sure that your number line is set up correctly, meaning you don't go 3, 4, 10. It's got to go up by the same amount every single time. And then I'm going to be wanting to make sure that you put the approximations in the correct spot. And that's it.